So it's good to see you guys. It's good to be back. You know, there's been a lot of work, just whether it's conditioning or weightlifting or leadership, mentoring and everything to get to this point. And so I think in terms of a calendar, maybe not a whole lot of time since we've been off the field, but it sure seems like we've been investing a lot. And so, it was good to see a lot of that pay off. I thought like tempo was really good. I thought guys were taking care of each other. Not me versus you in a practice, but me with you, trying to push you to get better and you push me to get better. And we'll see where that goes once the pads come on and it becomes more pressure and competitive and all that. But I thought it was good. I thought we were able to get a bunch of guys reps, and they were fighting through the elements and all of it. And so I thought a good first day.
Dave, was it different at all coming off a Big 12 championship, Sugar Bowl win? Different atmosphere at all?
No.
No.
It was. I think the focus of hey, this is our team, right? The past is the past, the future is what we make it, and I think I think sometimes with young people there's a tendency, and I can remember being this way too, is that hey, when I get my shot, right, when I'm in the seat or when I'm in the position or when it's my job, right, I'm going to act like this or I'm going to get this done. And I just think there's always kind of a kick the can down the road, as opposed to putting in the work, right, wherever you're at. And each day is an opportunity to get better. Each day is trial and error of being a better person. And I just think it's a fight to get. I think it's more conducive to kind of chilling if you're kicking it down the road, as opposed to the grind of, living inside out. And so that's the challenge. And we're in those battles a lot right now.
Dave, obviously there's turnover every year on a roster, but when you come in with as much as you guys have back on the offensive line and defensive line, how much of a comfort level does that give you with where this team could be headed?
I appreciate the question. I think there is really strong positives that can come from it. I think, right away when you ask the question, my mind goes to just the different. I mean, we've got, say, with the O-line and D-line guys coming back, I would look at it as, man, there's dudes that were grad assistants that was last year, and now they're a full-time coach. Or we've got guys that are full-time coaches that are now, coordinators, right? And so, I think the roles are different, right? What we're asking from them, right, is new and improved. And I think change is difficult, and change is never easy to embrace. But I think for us to go where we want to go and to be who we need to be, we need to be able to take that change. And so it's good that guys are back, but we need them to be at their best, and that requires them, kind of emerging from where they've been.
Coach, how do you deal with a situation at quarterback where you have a guy coming in the spring who won you a Big 12 champion, or was the quarterback for a Big 12 championship win, and you have a guy who was the quarterback for a Sugar Bowl win, and how you kind of deal with divvying up reps and all the things that go into it?
Yeah, they rotated all throughout today, and they'll Thursday will be the same. And I think they're competing against each other, and I think Sean does a great job of fostering that and managing that, and I think they do a great job of embracing that. I think for me, just learning from the past and the mistakes that I've made in terms of managing all of it. I think you always want to come in, if you are not the guy, you always want to come in with an opportunity to show what you can do, and if you do it, have an opportunity to play. And I think that's something that I think is is real and something that needs to be appreciated, and we want to do a good job of seeing that. And so, getting guys reps and mixing guys with different groups and really making it competitive, I think will bring out the best.
What would be best for you to get the decision made? Like, is it after spring? Are you comfortable taking it into the fall? What would you want to happen?
Yeah, I think you'd like to do it at the end of spring. I think for Blake to be given an opportunity, and then for Gary to kind of assert himself, is really kind of what's happening. And so I think it's fair to both of them. I think it only will make Blake and or Gary better, and so we're embracing it.
Do you treat it as a blank slate, or do you come in with taking into account what Gary did as a starter for 11 games last year?
Yeah, I think Gary's got to come in and just continue to improve, and then Blake's got to come in and outplay him. And so I think he's given that opportunity, and like all of that's kind of been laid out and talked about, and he's attacking it. So I appreciate that.
Dave, you're going to have some new guys at running back, or some guys who hadn't played a lot. What do you think of that room?
I think there is a lot of raw talent in that room. I think there's great potential in that room. I think it's very young, and I think one of the things that we were searching for last year in that room was just kind of that fighter, mentality. I'm gonna attack you, right? I'm not gonna be avoiding a hit or waiting to get hit. I'm gonna go and finish a run and fall forward. And I think with Tress and Ebner, we were able to, Juice, give all the credit to Juice. I thought he did a great job of fostering that, and Ebner was able to play that. I remember there was games at the end of, on the sideline, where he's, falling forward on guys, and our sideline's energized, and that was some time coming, but I think Ebner's better for it moving forward. And then I thought, Abram Smith was moved over for that reason too, and I think we're in that phase right now of that's what we need for this offense, is someone that's going to look to dish out punishment rather than receive it or avoid it. And so we'll see when pads come on where it goes.
You moved Josh there. What was the reasoning behind that, Josh Fleets?
Yeah, so I think he's got the ability to give us some of the things that Ebner gave us last year, but then I think he could also be, a true, like, the guy, right? First, second, as well as third down. I think he's got great vision. There's a toughness about him. There's a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's got a great heart. I think his, you look at Josh and his just maturity and his improvement just as a person. I'm a big fan of his, and I really want to see him be successful, and I want to see his goals achieved, and excited to see the spring for him.
Dave, what are maybe one or two specific goals you have for this group this spring?
Yeah, so number one for us, we have three, is to own the standard, and so that's off the field and on the field. And so off the field, be class, integrity, academic excellence. I think there's, we probably didn't start as well as we wanted to academically, and so we're really pushing to finish strong with school. And then, I think on the field, it's energy and edge and execution. I think, guys were given energy and fighting through it, all of it, and I think that's such a huge piece. I look forward, to our season coming up, and just the games that we're on the road, and it's just going to be, just our traveling party versus whatever else, and we have to create our own energy, man. And you just like anything else, it's reps and practice and all that. Then I think the number 2 would be we, not me, and so that would be, in spring ball, right? Me with you, not me versus you, and so it's not an O versus D thing or DBs versus a receiver thing. It's guys pushing each other to get better. And then along with that too, it becomes like, certain guys just in terms of buying in and being a part of all of it, because I think sometimes, some of the things we're asking off the field is probably a bit much when it's just, football that's in their front sight, So it's like, hey, dude, you can be you, man, but align with us. Like, totally, like, I think the worst thing would be if we're just getting a bunch of, like, Dave Arandas. I mean, how, like, boring and brutal would that be if we're just, like, recreating that, And so I think, like, guys totally being themselves, but aligning with us, right, at our standards and all of it, I think is important. And 3 would be, it doesn't matter, get better. And so, the adversity and the pressure that we want to create, we have to execute in those situations so that when we get to the Novembers and the Decembers and all of it, it's secondhand.
Coach, as you coming to year 3 now, is it more that, okay, I want this spring to start at a more advanced position than last spring did and the spring before that? Or do you say, okay, we got to get back to basics, regardless of whether it's spring 3 or spring 1?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I appreciate that. So it would be back to basics, because I think, like a great example would be, I mean, we cannot, or at least I believe, we cannot assume that anything's taught or anything's a given or anything's understood. We have to teach it all, And so if there's like a unit teach period and there's a group that's on the field and they're being drilled in something, right, we really have to work on the guys that aren't in the drill or paying attention to the drill, right, and they're locked into the drill because, I mean, it could be a Gary Bohannon, Blake Shapen situation where just like that, right, now you're in and now you got to roll and now you have to execute. And so if that thing is broken and not working, then you don't get the standard and you don't get the execution that you want. And so all of those things are just foundational, basic things. I mean, it's a lot of them are simple to do, but or simple to say, but they're difficult to do, especially day in, day out.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all.
Mark, you are going to have to replace some DBs. How do you feel about the group coming back?
First off, I want to start off by giving glory to God, because without him, I wouldn't be here today. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, you lose some DBs, some good ones. How do you feel about the group coming back?
I feel good with the older guys that we have and the young guys that have came in. We've been working really hard, and the older guys are going to have to take the young guys under our wings and kind of just mold them to what we know what the process is and to get back to where we were at. So now we just got to get them to buy in. But I'm really confident in who we have.
Yeah, being one of the older guys now, do you have to be a leader in that room?
Oh, yeah. A couple of the guys call me Uncle Unk. So I remember when I was younger, I used to mess with the older guys. Oh, you've been here for so long, now I'm them. But, yeah, being one of the older guys, just taking some of the younger guys in my position group and molding them and showing them the process, what to do, and when I leave, what they need to do, and take the young guys that come in and mold them the same way so we could build a culture and keep on winning even when I leave.
Who was the DB that you learned the most from over the years? Was it one of the guys that was in the combine recently?
Well, I came in with Boogie. And Riley. It was Riley's. Riley's he's gonna be at Pro Day here. But Riley and Boogie, we came up together and we, and studying the playbook together when I first got here. And then last year coming in, getting extra work in, we knew what we needed to do. And the people that molded that way when we got here was Graylin and Houston. But yeah, they showed us what to do and we just kind of carried it on.
Did Boogie's 40 time shock you, or is that about what you expected?
shocked me. I don't know why people were shocked. Like he was. I told Boogie he should have just ran track, to be honest, because he could fly. That's like growing up, I've always been fast. That's the one person that I would say is faster than me. That's the only person that I admit that's faster than me to this day. So when he ran that, I was just like, that's another day in the office.
Do you think you could record a 4.2, 3 or something
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point?
Oh, yeah. I'll be right there with him. It might not be his, but it'll be close to his.
Mark, even with, I mean, because the defense does lose some key players, is there a confidence because of what you guys did last year that this defense can be really good again?
In order to have a good defense, there's always going to be confidence, but there can't be cockiness. So you got to understand what we did last year is what we did last year. It's when we play everybody this upcoming year, it's going to be everybody's Big 12 championship. So last year you could say, oh, we took them by surprise, whatever. But this year they know. So you can't just be like, oh, we're going to build off of what we did last year. You got to say, oh, we're starting from ground one. You need to act like you're starting from ground one, and you need to build it up on a strong foundation in order to do what we did last year or do even better.
Mark, just how fun was it to be playing football again today?
Oh, man. It was fun. It felt good. It felt good, but it didn't feel good, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying I'm out of shape or anything, but yeah, I could do a little bit more conditioning. It hurt a lot, but it was fun to see. You know, before we got out there, you know, we've already been lifting together. So it was fun to see all the new guys come in and then them hitting PRs, weight that they didn't think they'd ever be able to hit, and then coming out here and being able to execute the plays, offense and defensive wise. It was fun to see that.
Anything else?
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Fire away.
Gavin, just curious, how do you look at this spring in terms of opportunity at the position, given obviously the two starters that we've gone?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of room for growth, a lot of competition. You know, we don't have a lot of guys who have experience, but we got a lot of talent in the room. And I think, you know, the more the guys come out here and compete and just run around, get used to running the plays, how Coach Baker coaches, how Coach Grimes wants the offense run, you know, I think by the time the end of spring comes, we'll be good, but definitely by the time the season starts, we'll be solid.
How good is it to have two experienced QBs back there?
Oh, it's really good. You know, they lead us. You know, we got a lot of young guys in the room, so it's nice to have some veteran Qs to kind of help us out. You know, we've been working with them all spring, all winter, so we're excited.
Kevin, do you see yourself as a veteran? You hadn't been out there in a while.
Yeah,
but, I mean, do you kind of have to be one of the leaders?
Yeah. That's kind of the role I've taken this offseason. I've been here the longest. I'm the oldest guy in the room, so you know, I got to set the standards, just show the young guys how it's supposed to be done. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
What's it been like growing in this offense and getting acclimated to it now? I mean, obviously it's been installed for you now, but what are some of the nuances now that you know, I guess you're getting used to or maybe getting better at now in this coming this spring?
I think we all know the playbook pretty well. It's just a matter of just mastering, because you know, like Coach Grimes says, you know, we run a few plays a lot of ways. So there's a lot of different formations, motions, just a lot of stuff that we got to get acclimated to. And I think that's going to be our biggest hurdle this spring, is just kind of, you know, getting the tempo right and kind of figuring out all the different ways we're going to run these plays. So.
Kevin, did you go through the learning process last year? I mean, were you already picking up the offense?
Oh, of course. I'm still, you know, it's first day. I've made a few mistakes out there too today, you know, so we're always learning. You know, they're always throwing new stuff at us, kind of, you know, so it's never the same. There's always, you know, some new additions, some new things that we're working on. So I think it's just a matter of, you know, getting those things down, and there's always going to be new things for us to learn. So.
What's the level of excitement coming off the Big 12 championship, Sugar Bowl win?
I think, you know, we're pumped, but we're, you know, I think we're still working like we still got something to prove, you know, just because, you know, we're going to have a target on our backs this year. You know, but it's just about not getting complacent and, you know, just going back to the roots of like what we did last year to get us to that point, you know, and I think that's what we're doing right now.
How about just the excitement level of being back out here now playing football again after a few months off?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I've been through it before, but you know, it's just there's nothing like being out here, you know, putting the helmet on and playing with the guys, you know. So it sucks being away from it, but when you're back, you realize how much you really missed it. So.
Does it feel weird that Taekwon, RJ, all those guys are gone?
Oh yeah, they've been here a while too, and they were a big piece for us last year. But they kind of paved the way for us last year, and we're still super confident in the room. Like they might have left, but we don't feel like we fell off. That's what we're trying to prove right now as a group.
What about the change in position coach? What's that been like?
Coach Baker, he's awesome. My favorite thing about him is he's really able to relate to us. He's been in our position, and he knows what it takes to win and get to the next level. And he's big on relationships, and we're doing stuff once a week together as a group. We're always doing stuff together. I think this is the tightest this receiver room has been in a long time, and I think Coach Baker's played a big role in that. And so we're excited to have him, and I can't wait to see where he takes us.
What's just his day-to-day presence like? What's he like just around the facility?
Yeah, he's a cool cat. He's relaxed, but when he gets out here, he coaches hard. This is our first time kind of seeing really how he coaches, and but we kind of knew what to expect. He has expectations of us as players, and but off the field, he's one of our guys, man. We all have really tight-knit relationships with him. And so, yeah, he's been awesome.
What's those expectations on you guys? Like, if you want to play receiver in this offense, you want to play receiver for Baylor football, what do you have to do on a daily basis?
He preaches to us, that, we're all going to make mistakes. We're always going to have room for improvement. But, his big thing is just do everything full speed. There's nothing, if you make a mistake, make sure it's full speed. So that way, effort doesn't have to be coached. You can just get in the film room, and that's when you correct it. He just wants us to play full speed, have energy, and have fun.
How are the legs?
Oh, legs are good. I feel really healthy. I feel about as healthy as I have in a long time. So, praying for a healthy spring, and hopefully, this is a solid year.
How tough has that been for you? I mean, just with everything you've gone through.
It has been tough. But I've leaned a lot on my faith, and I just feel like all the stuff I've been through, if my body if I can still go out there and do it, then I feel like I'm meant to still be doing it. So, that's what's pushed me. I have great teammates. I love these guys. I wouldn't want to be playing with anybody else. So, it's exciting.
What have you seen? You mentioned a little bit about the quarterbacks earlier. Just what's their development been like? You got a couple of veteran guys, and also what have you thought of Kyron's development?
Yeah, I think like we're always improving. The quarterbacks are improving too. But it's just like it's great to have two guys who played in high intensity situations last year, and then I can see Kyron learning from them, and to have two guys who have played and won important games for us ahead of you to learn from them, I think the sky's the limit for Kyron, and I think he's young, he's still learning, but he has all the potential in the world. So.
Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Gavin. Thanks.
Connor got almost a whole offensive line back.
Yep.
What's that like to have such a veteran crew?
It's good. I think we only lost like Zay and JC, I believe. So a lot of guys who know the system, know their plays, already like have a head start pretty much from where we were last year to now. So that's good. Like we didn't have to do a lot of obviously we installed like our plays and stuff like that, but guys already like understand what coach is saying, so that's good.
Connor, how much were these individual decisions, and how much did you guys talk amongst yourselves throughout that process about coming back for another year?
I know I talked with my family, talked with Coach Aranda, Coach Mateus, and ultimately we just talked about it, and I think that was the best choice for me, so I came back.
Once the dust settled and you saw everyone that was coming back to the house, like how, I guess, hyped up did that get you?
I mean, all of us already kind of knew like that, knew before like the season even was over we were, but like, we just wanted to see like what our options were, and then we all made our choice.
Connor, how different is it? A year ago this time we're asking you if the O-line's the weak link of the offense. How different is it coming in knowing that you guys can be the front lines of this offense and really lead it this season?
That's good because we know how much work we put in, like all the hard work, all the hours, all the film study, all the like summer workouts, off-season workouts, all that stuff we put in. So it's nice to know that people like have seen that like pay off. But now it's like we're starting from ground zero now. Now we have to re-put all that work in, re-put all like the hours of film study and all that stuff. So we're starting at ground zero right now.
How different is your understanding? How much greater is your understanding from what it was maybe a year ago at this time?
of this offense.
It's night and day for like the whole offensive line, not just me, just like the whole room. Like we understand a lot more. We already like we can already say like what coach wants. We can like say that without him having to say it. You know, obviously like the really small stuff has to be refined, but like the basics and like the understanding, like it's there.
Hunter, what do you see from the running backs? Obviously, you're going to have some new starters in here. What do you see from the guys coming back?
I see a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. You know, we watch film as a group together with like them and like the quarterbacks and stuff like that. So like right now it's just working on everybody getting on the same page. Right now is just what spring's for, and then the whole offense line room, running back room, the whole team's getting reps. So it's not just like certain people. Like everybody's getting reps, so that's good.
But this time last year, y'all didn't really have positions. It was just kind of y'all were working everything. Are y'all a little more in certain places this year, or is it just like that?
Everybody, pretty much like the whole spring ball, people are going to be playing everywhere. Same thing as last spring, same thing as fall camp. Everybody's going to be playing multiple positions, so which pays off in the season when guys get hurt, stuff happens, stuff like that.
What was it like watching all the guys at the combine? I mean, I think that's a Baylor record to send 7.
That was awesome. That was awesome because, you know, Xavier Newman and Terrell and Petey were the class before me, but a lot of those guys were in my class, so it's like we recruited together, like we played 4 years together, 4 or 5 years and stuff like that, so it was awesome to see the work that they as people like have done and stuff like that. Was good to see, and like eventually like have an opportunity at the combine and put on a show, so it was good.
Gavin's one of those guys too that's been around forever. Seems like.
Yeah.
What do you? Just him coming back. How inspirational, I guess.
It was good. I personally think it's good. You know, that's a lot of experience. A lot of like me, Gavin, like Grant, Gall, all those guys. So that's a lot of experience. So I think it'll be good for all the guys who are here now who haven't played a lot. It'll be good for us, like help them grow as people and players.
Just in general, you've obviously been working hard this offseason, but to be back in spring ball, just what was the excitement level today?
Everybody excited to know what we did last year and like all that work. So now we know like what we have to do to like put the work in to be back where we were last year at the end of this season. So I think it's exciting.
When you got some time after you guys got back from New Orleans, you got some time to reflect on everything you guys accomplished. How gratifying is it to do what you guys did last year?
I think it was really good for us as an O-line because, you know, previously in the past years we've really struggled, and it was nice to like finally be in a spot where like the team's like, all right, like the offense line, like it's our offense line, and to have that respect from them and the respect from the opposite teams we play, to know like it's a really good feeling.
Anything else? Thanks, Connor.
Thanks,
Yep.
Connor.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.